Hey, that's actually not a bad shot. It's a little bit of a delay. Pop, 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 pop. Boop, 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 boop. We'll try it out. Let's scoot you back just a little bit more. There. Been testing out some NDI stuff, just to see how I like it. But the downside is that it goes through wireless, so the latency isn't that great. But the quality should be better because it's a higher resolution camera. I was just using the FaceTime camera on my MacBook for the other one. Let's get a reference image pulled up. I think I already have one. Yeah, I got an Azer here. Got the image on my desktop already. We'll just change this from the Chimera that we were using the other day to the Azer. Boop, there he is. Big flamey boy. Alright, so we got our Azer here. We got our reference image. Looks like he's mostly like a coppery color. And a big fiery head and hammer. So this okay, so we do have some flames. We do have some flames on the hammer. This is an MZ4250 model. And it looks like his hammer is it's like the same material as the rest of his body is. Although we do have a little color difference in the chain. See, that's one thing that I like about MZ4250 models, is that he really tries to stay close to the reference images. I feel like I need to bring this down a little bit. Maybe I'm just used to painting big minis, so I don't have to hold them as close to the camera. Alright, well, let's pick our colors. Let's grab a paintbrush, pick our colors out. I'm gonna grab... That one needs to be cleaned, goodness. I need to learn to take better care of my paintbrushes. Alright, so this guy's kind of a bronze. It's not really a copper. It's more like a, or maybe like a brass. So I have some copper. That's brown. But see, that's like really orange. I mean, that, yeah, like really more on, much more on the red side. I wonder if it would be better to do like gold, maybe? Or maybe do like some gunmetal. If we did like gunmetal and maybe like a brown and then dry brushed gold on top of it, that might give us that look that we're going for. So one of the things that you can do, I don't know if it's the best way to do it, but I've done it, is I have this gunmetal gray. It's like a metallic. It's just got mica in it. And then I've got this pearlescent white, which has the same reflective stuff in it. And you can add this to other colors to make them look metallic. Pop, pop, pop. Pop, pop. Nah, I don't like that delay. I'm going to change my cameras back. I'll have to figure that out. Testing 1, 2, 3. Well, there we go. I've been talking this whole time. Are you kidding me? Can you hear the music now? The music's supposed to be coming through. Like, I can see the activity on it. It might just be quiet. My blasted mic was set to a different audio device, so that's awesome. Man, I've been talking this whole time. Good gravy. That's irritating. One of these days, I'll be able to start and just figure it all out and get it all working, but good gravy. Can you hear the music too, Lucrum? I turned it up a little bit. Okay. I need to like make myself a checklist or something. Just run through the checklist before I start streaming. I wish I had a dedicated a dedicated streaming rig. Like a little computer that I could just leave set up, flip the switch on, you know, when I'm ready to stream, flip it off when I'm done. Well, welcome to the show, everybody. Now that the audio is working, I guess I should do introductions all over again. Tonight we're painting in Azer. It's an elemental, fire elemental, little blacksmith dude, and I'm alternating between him and cleaning up these little animal folks. Let's take a look at the Azer. That's better. It's kind of got a brown grunginess to it now. Let's see if we can fix this though, because I think I should have mixed some brown in with the gunmetal before. Let's get some brown in here. Let's get some leather, because this is kind of a greenish, yellowish brown. I don't know too incredibly much about Azers. I was reading through the monster manual a while back, and Azer starts with A, so it was at the beginning of the book, and so it's just been a while since I've read it. I want to say, I'm pretty sure they're elementals. I know they're from the plane of fire, but I think they're like constructs. That's too much. Let's get that. Like, I don't think they're technically classified as constructs. I don't think they're like, you know, not monsters, that they're constructs instead. But I'm pretty sure that they're like created beings who are like smithies, and they do smithy stuff. Alright, let's get a dry brush. Let's see what we can figure out with this guy. This is completely experimental territory right now. I don't think this metallic is enough. I don't think it's shining through as much as I was hoping. but let's give it a go. Let's try it out. The idea, I talked about it earlier, but the idea for painting this guy was to drop a base coat of something metallic like the gunmetal, and then do some dry, like some shadows with the Agrex Earthshade, and then build up some highlights on top of that with some gold. This actually might be working out okay, because he's kind of like this weird yellowy greeny metal. Yeah, this is actually working out okay. This is like, hold him over here next to the reference image. Once those, see, like the highlights are still like a blue grayish. Once we get the green on there for those highlights though, I think that's gonna be all right. Then I'll go ahead and paint some details on these things, because he's got like some straps across him and some chainmail. He's actually hiding the layer lines pretty well too. And then we'll need to build up some colors for his flames. I made a fantastic Flameo, my good man joke earlier. Nobody was here to hear it because dumb old John didn't have his microphone turned on. Alright, let's drop a little bit of gold in here. This is going to be our nice bright highlight, and it'll bring back some of the reflectiveness too. Yeah, I think this was a good call. Man, I like it when I have a theory and it ends up panning out. That's a good feeling. I'll have to remember this technique, because this could just be cool for like painting some brass or bronze statues. You know, take an old mini and just paint it bronze. Make it a terrain piece. There we go. That's cool, and it's kind of got that. It's kind of got that tone that we want. Especially if I turn off my blue light. All right. Well, let's get some cool stuff on here now. Get rid of you, dry brush. Okie doke. Man, I didn't pour myself some water. Let's let him dry off. And let's get these little animals onto some bases. And then we'll scooch them out of the way and start detailing the Azer. this one got chewed up a little bit. You can see it's got some divots right there. That normally doesn't matter too much if you cover it with like some flocking, like if you're going to put down some stone or some grass or something like that, and just cover it right up. I'm not doing that with this. I'm thinking if I just painted the flat black like I have been, that it kind of won't show up. Also, I'll probably put it towards the back of the Mini, so it'll be behind. Like if it's just sitting on the table, you'll still be able to see it, but if somebody's like picking it up and looking at it, it'll be behind them. It won't matter so much. Also, these animals they're long, you know, they're quadrupeds. So you can position them to cover up, stuff like that. Okay. I really like this new super glue too. Talked about it while my mic was offline. I wish the bottle was a bit more pliable. But I really like the cap. This little cap has a metal spike in it, which is really cool. Since it's metal, it's not going to fuse to fuse the cap and the bottle together. There's that one. Let's get Miss Fancy Longtail. Oh yeah, his feet went right over that little crumbly spot. Nobody's even gonna know. How would they know? They're not gonna know. How would they know? Spend too much time on TikTok. I actually deleted it off my phone the other day. I was gonna take a break from it because it's just like, it's like social media candy. It's not like checking the news or catching up with friends. It's just silly, goofy stuff. At least that's the TikTok that I'm on. That is where the culture's happening, though. We have a lot of really good content creators. I think it has a lot to do with a low barrier to entry. Kind of like Twitter. It doesn't take much to drop some info on Twitter. Same thing with streaming versus making like a YouTube video. You just hit play and people kind of expect a measure of unpolishedness with streaming. You know, since it's live, they kind of expect things to go wacky, or at least the potential for it to go wacky. All right, let's get these things magnetized. But that way you don't have to, like, it's low barrier to entry because you hit play after you get everything set up. You hit play, and you just start recording, but you don't have to worry about editing and post and all of that jazz. those are around dry the other side. You can go away, Pooch. Put you there. I bought some more magnets. I was almost out. Can you believe it? You don't think you'd run out of things so much, but you print a couple cats and a couple dogs, and a badger, and that's seven minis, 7 magnets, 7 bases. I print these bases in batches of 9, so that's like, and it takes like an hour to print them or something like that. So that's like, I print a whole thing of bases and I'm like, oh, I got a handful, look, I got so many. And I've only got 2 left out of the batch. Super glue, that's what we're needing. And we also need the kicker. Dang it, I can never remember which one I do first. I can't remember if I put the glue on the magnet or if I put the glue on here. I think I put the glue on here, on the base. Let's try it that way. Because I kind of remember putting some of this on the base and it like running through the cracks and getting everywhere. Yeah, see, that just sticks right there. I'm gonna turn off that badger because I'm not painting it right now. There we go. Alright, we'll do them one at a time. Nice big gooble gobble. My goal with these is always to try and get them centered as much as possible, because then they sit centered on my little stands. But they're always a little bit off, so when I spin them, they're like offset. I have a couple that are really close, which is very satisfying. Alright, let's see if it took. Oh, nice. I wonder if it's because the super glue is just like a better quality or something. It's offset though. That's not too bad. Three more tries. Gluing down minis, and that's what I'm doing. Ooh, that one was pretty close. So clean, so smooth. Little corgi boy. So I did 4 cats, 2 dogs, and a badger. I did some long-tailed cats and some short-tailed cats. I don't know why I did so many cats. I don't know. Felt like there was... I feel like cats kind of just look the same. I mean, there's variations, you know, like there's a difference between like a Siamese cat and whatnot, but I don't know, part of me maybe thinks that the variations between cats and dogs aren't that big. Or the variations between cats and the variations between dogs. Like, dogs have more variation. They got like big, huge dogs, little dogs, fat and wide dogs, wiener dogs. They don't have wiener cats. I don't know what's up with that. I figured if I painted a bunch of different kinds of cats, I could just like paint different patterns with the same model. But I've only got like a corgi and a mastiff model. I guess technically I've got those 2 mastiffs, so I do have 4 dogs and 4 cats now. That's what I meant to do that. Totally meant to do that. That was my plan all along. And that kicker has decided to evaporate. So I need to make sure not to do too many of these ahead. We'll see if it takes it without it. Because we might not need it. I'd hate to waste it. Hey, it's 10 o'clock. We're at the hour mark. I am going to bed on time tonight. I have a big weekend. No, it didn't work. Okay, so we need kicker. And that has already dried. Difference. So the problem is that the gap, so this little recess here that I have for putting the magnets, the magnet doesn't fill up the entire gap. So I need something that will bridge that gap, and the glue isn't quite enough. Like I need to leave a blob of glue, which you typically don't do with super glue. You want super glue really, really thin. CA glue, sorry. You want it really thin. But if I have it really thin, then the magnet's not going to touch, it's not going to stick. So what I do is I drop a little bit of the kicker, and then I drop a big drop on the bottom and the big drop of the glue on the base, and it's enough for them to touch, and then they start crystallizing because of the kicker. And then it creates like a wafer of CA glue. Yeah, there we go. But the nice thing about that too is that if you do it this way, it creates a flat surface. See, if I was to drop some glue in this base, like if I was just to go like this, drop a bit of glue, put a magnet in there, it's going to be slightly under the surface, which means that when I set it on a piece of metal to keep it from sliding around, it's not going to make contact. It'll still attract to it. It'll have some magnetic attraction, but it's not going to make contact. This way, if I drop the magnet on here and then put the base on and have the glue wafer in between, it's perfectly flat. You have a nice solid contact. And that one actually was pretty close to the middle. Look at that. No, it wasn't. Nope, not as much as I thought it was going to be. I'm just not paying attention. Okay, well that's those guys. We can scooch those out of the way. Put the glue over here. Put the cap on the knife so I don't cut myself again. I already did that once on stream and that was not fun. Alright, Mr. Azer, we need a good brush. We need a good brush with a nice fine tip. Probably one of these ones. Yeah, that's good. Put you away. Alright, we'll put the leather away, we'll get the metal. There's gunmetal, there's gold, iridescent. We can put this away. Alright. So he's all brassy and bronzy now. Now we need to get some white. Some solid white. We're going to take dead white. We're going to take sun yellow. We're going to take orange fire and bloody red. That's going to be our fire colors. And hopefully we'll get them painted tonight. We got an hour to do it. We're already in the detailing section. His eyes are going to be white as well. Metal Santa Claus. I like how his fire is kind of like a mane around his head. And yes, this is gonna look junky. It's because it's flat white, and I'd already had like shadows and highlights from the other color, but we don't want those colors on here. We want fire. And the inside of fire is white. It's the brightest part. So we start with white. And then we build up almost with dry brushing like techniques. Where we hit the highs. And then we go one step darker color, and then we hit the highs with that, and then one step darker and hit the highs with that, until eventually, hopefully, it looks like a fire. But right now, everything's just going to be white. I've actually done this effect once before on a pair of flame skulls. And I brought my minis in here so I can show you guys this time. It's going to look like this. hopefully a little bit more white showing through, but to get the yellows and the oranges and the reds to be vibrant again, you need a white base coat. Or else that brass color is really going to darken down the yellows. I think I'm painting over his ears, but I don't think you'll be able to tell. Because I kind of want to go for a big main look. Does he have eyebrows? No. He has a brow, but no eyebrows on it. Well, washing and dry brushing are like the best parts. That's when the detail comes out, and so it kind of feels painful to base coat on top of it. And now it looks like bird poop on top of something that was painted decently. This paintbrush is not the best. There we go. I'm going to try and zoom this in a little bit. I feel like you guys can't see too well. Scooch the camera out to fuzz. Yeah, I think that's better. Give you guys a better look at them. Alright, let's put him in front of the fan, let him dry off. I guess we'll go ahead and just do the rest of these little guys. I mean, once I got them based, I can't really paint them until I get them primed and highlighted. And I've only got 45 minutes-ish. So I don't know if I can pull out the airbrush quite yet. What you doing, Lucrum? You playing Apex? Playing something else? There we go. That's those three. Let's get them on some bases. Oof, that one's kind of rough. I think I'll save that one for later. That's a nice clean one. Nice. I was trying to keep my chat up on my iPad here so that I could see everything, but it looks like it's not staying up to date. Any cool moments in Apex tonight? You just grinding levels, trying to get skins? Oh no, my age is showing. I don't know what the bubble emoji stands for. No real cool moments yet. Gotta keep that optimism. Man, my stream is really stuttering. I wonder what's causing that. It's just like bubbles. Now I know. So last game. We played last Thursday. It was a pretty wild ride. I kind of felt like I was off my game too. That happens sometimes. Oh, interesting. So it probably means something, but you don't know what it means. Yeah, I feel like I was off my game last time. I only had like an hour over my lunch break to prep, and I normally like to have more time than that. Alright, let's add some yellow. See if we can get this flame built up. Yellow is a notoriously bad color for coating. You normally have to do a couple coats of yellow. But if you base coat it in white, it doesn't mean that much. I'm just gonna kinda glaze over this a little bit. I'm not gonna use an actual dry brush. I'm just gonna use the side of my brush. Kind of hit all the edges and let the insides stay white. So this yellow is also kind of clear enough that you can, if you get it on the model itself, it's not gonna mess up too much. So I could almost use it a little bit to highlight his skin and kind of make it look like light is reflecting off of. Not a fantastic highlighting job, but it'll work. Looks like I actually already have some of this orange down, so I'll just use that. Now this, I want to be even more careful. Oh, dang it. See, I just covered the whole thing. I think this orange is way too wet. Yep, that just seeped into the crevices and created shadows, and I don't want shadows. I want the crevices to be, oh, look at that, that's actually wicking it out and it's fixing it. Okay, so that orange is way too wet from been sitting on my wet palette all this time. So let's get some new stuff on here. This will be thicker. Oop, that was too much. There we go. And the trick is to just hit it lighter, because you still want the yellow to be on spots. And you also want to it's like you're balancing it out, because I'm going to have to come back and get red on here too. It's looking okay. Alright, let's get some bloody red on here. Oh, you said what, all British accent? So it could be all edgy. You know, I wonder if I shouldn't just try dry brushing. big firework. I think it helped, but I think I need to actually add some dark spots. There we go. I think it kind of looks crappy, but I think it's the kind of crappy where, like, if I leave it and I come back in a day and look at it, it'll look alright. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna leave it. I was gonna put some accents, like, you know what? Maybe I'll do some edge highlighting with the gold, because I feel like the body needs just a little bit of something. Thanks, I think he looks cool too. I think these little highlights are just gonna do something to sweeten it up a little bit, what's already there. Sometimes you can use them to take the shadows out of your layer lines. Make them a little less evident. See, like, you got some really bad layer lines right there. Oh, we need to do his eyes. Hey, Winged Badger Gaming. Good evening, long time no see. How you guys doing? Believe it or not, we're still painting D&D minis. We're about done with them too. We need to get him some rad eyes. These nice solid white dots. Living the dream as well. I certainly can't complain, and man, I'm just having a blast painting minis. Trying to think of ways to throw these at my players. There we go. Now he's got some angry white eyes. I like it. It's been a little quiet, but I presume that has a lot to do with it being a 3-day weekend over here in America. And a lot of folks are probably just doing what they're doing on holidays. Honestly, I'd much rather folks hang out with their family than with me. But this is my painting time, and I enjoy having company painting. So if anybody does want to hang out, they're welcome. But definitely don't prioritize me over your family. You can always watch the VOD later. You guys up to some crazy shenanigans again tonight? You know, I love it when folks say they're living the dream. It's so important to keep a positive attitude. Your mental state and mental attitude can really affect a lot of your like how you see life. And if you're always 7 days to die, nice. Interesting. Wait a minute, did that just recently drop? Like, is that a recent release? I want to say I heard something about it, but I haven't looked into it yet. Isn't it kind of like a low poly survival game, like the low poly graphic style? There we go. Oh, interesting. Maybe I was seeing something else. Sounds like a labor of love type game. Well, guys, I think we just finished up our Azer. I think it looks a lot like our reference image. I mean, you need company during your zombie survival, and plants are the only company that won't turn on you. That's pretty cool. I like him. I like him a lot. Yeah, I hope it turned out okay. It's kind of like I was telling Lucrum earlier. It's kind of crappy, but it's the kind of crappy where it doesn't look that great to me tonight, but tomorrow I'll be like, wow, it actually turned out all right. I've just been staring at it too long. It's like that. That's how it be sometimes. Well, let's put him in front of the fan and let him dry off. And let's move on over to ye old spreadsheet and see where we're at. Oops, that's some stuff. All right. I'd like to learn some better lighting techniques. Hey, Ice! Glad you could make it. We actually just finished painting the Azer. It looks like this. Actually, let me pop over back to the paint camera. I think it turned out pretty well. Not super happy with the flame hair, but I think it'll grow on me. So let's see here. Azer, he should be alphabetical up at the top. A-Z-E-R. There we go. We got one. Bam. That's one more down. I almost have all of the A's. Got the Androsphinx, Ankylosaurus. We do have the Ankylosaurus. We just need to paint him. I don't know what color to paint an Ankylosaurus. We did the cats. So we have 4 cats. We have the STLs found, supported, printed, cleaned. They are not primed yet. We have dogs. Are there dogs? Just like straight dogs. There are not just straight dogs. It's a death dog. No, just regular old pet dogs. That's weird. I know there's the Mastiff. Let's see, where's our Mastiff? There you are. 2. And one of them's painted. Alright, so that one's up to date. The Badger. We also did the Badger. Badger. We got him cleaned. We got 15 minutes. Let's go ahead and get these guys. Let's see, what do we want to do? Oop, I need to move this over. Can't see my chat. Awakened tree, that's going to be huge. I have an awakened tree model, but they're huge. They're really big. I might actually end up printing him on my FDM printer. Those things are so big because it's like a big trunk with a doopy face and nose, but then like the branches go out and it has like these big huge clumps of leaves that are like this big. And there's like 5 of them. Arcanoloth. I actually don't like. I need to redo that one because I printed it off and it messed up. I have the STL, but it needs to be resupported. what? We got a couple minutes. Let's swap back over to painting. And let's do some airbrushing. Let's get you back. Back to there. Let's get all you guys put away. Brushes. Paints over here. Let's get our compressor out. And my super fancy paint shield. Oh. Did I didn't. I need to magnetize those. These three. Let's grab a piece of sheet metal. You grab a magnet. Whoop. Polarity check. All right. I got some new super glue ice. I got a big bottle with a fancy applicator. Makes me feel all smart and special. Yeah, like it's Starbond, super fancy, but I haven't tried it yet. But it comes with these little, like super fine tips that you can just slide onto the top of there. There we go. So far, it works really well. It bonds really well and really quickly. It's also really thick. It's a lot thicker and less watery, which I guess is the same thing as thick. It's not as watery as the last CA glue I was using, but before I was just using like the little tubes of crazy glue. All these little animals I'm printing here are for my druid. She's just getting into wild shaping. And I was thinking, I don't have a cat. Why are you not adhering? Come on, Glue, I was just talking you up. Don't do me like that. What in the world? Maybe it cured too quickly. I think that's what happened. I think it cured too quickly. Weird. Started blushing and getting performance anxiety. No, it's because I hate the whole. I can be pretty impatient sometimes, and I hate just sitting here for like 5 seconds holding one. I feel like I should be putting the glue on the other one and getting it going too, or just like taking my hand off and letting it, just sit so I can do other ones. But when I get ahead of myself and I like picked it up and slid it around a little bit, and I bet that's where it popped off and cured. Just need to be patient. There we go. Yeah, see, if I just wait. Just wait, it's fine. No, I gotta be a royal goob. There we go. Well, this is entertaining. It's almost as entertaining as watching paint dry. Ha ha ha. Beep 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 beep. There we go. Oh no! Why are you kidding me? I felt the magnet pull. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, it's so irritating. So irritating. What in the world? I've never had this much trouble doing two of these things at the same time. You know what? I need to get my other knife because I'm going to cut myself if I keep doing it like this. See what I did there? Nice. I can be funny sometimes. Sometimes. Not often. Well, making mistakes, it's all part of the hobby. Learning how to fix your mistakes and keep moving forward, that's a valuable skill to have too. And I actually have some super glue, like debonder or whatever it's called, where it breaks it down. Could have been using that this whole time, but you know. Why would I use that when I could try to cut myself with a knife this whole time? Silly John. Quack to the future. Paradox. I like it. That's amazing. I love puns so much. Alright, I'm going to wait this time. So, interesting things about cats. I have a cat. I have 2 cats. They don't like me. At least they didn't originally. I've slowly been able to slow blink my way to getting some affection out of them. I wonder what other kind of animals we need for wild shaping. I have spiders. I have a slug. Spiders and slugs. Pretty sure I have some other ones. Like a deer, rhinoceros. Alright. Please work. Please work. Feels like it's working. Okay. Whew. Good gravy. It's buoyant. Boom, boom, boom. And those are dad jokes. And I love them. You know how to tell if a joke is a dad joke? When the punchline becomes apparent. That's like my favorite dad joke. Alright, Glue, let's get you out of here. These guys are all ready. That's pretty good. It's like 3 jokes wrapped up in one. It's pretty fantastic. My kids just roll their eyes. But that's probably because I tell the joke so many times and they already know it. Which is another sign of being a dad. Gotta work on keeping that fresh material. Yeah, see, Luke Rum, he didn't laugh at that one because he's already heard me say it 1 billion times. All right, we have 1 minute. That's enough time to get started on something and legally run a little late. My dad joke. Oh, laugh at what? Haha. Nice. You got me. I thought you were being serious. Rascal. Shut up. It's a good joke. You're the worst. I mean that in the best possible way, too. Alright, let's do a little spray painting. I'm gonna do some primer. Let's give it a test. Yeah, there we go. Some more fireworks. Somebody nearby my house does fireworks every year. And they're like pretty decent sized ones. They go way up high and they produce a lot of light. But the days running up to it, leading up to it, they always do some practice runs. You know, painting minis is so therapeutic. It's so chill. I think I got my ratio right. I normally way overshoot how much paint it takes to base coat or zenithal highlight a mini. Gotta make sure you hit it from all the angles, especially with these layer lines on the print. There we go. You know what, I kind of feel like doing the Ankylosaurus too. I already cleaned it up the other day. You know what? I'm gonna hit the bottom of this thing. And then I'll glue it. I think we need a little bit more primer. Just a little bit. Just a teasy bit. clog. There we go. I'm actually going to add a little bit of flow improver to this because I think it needs just a little bit. If you've never painted with an airbrush, it's not incredibly difficult. Or at least doing base coating like this is pretty easy because you're just hitting everything. But you just kind of want to follow spray can rules if you ever use a can of spray paint, where you just kind of make passes over it. Don't sit in one spot or else it'll pond up. This airbrush isn't the best, but I've had really good success with it. I got it for like $50 on Amazon, including the little USB portable compressor. I think they market these things to people who like paint cakes. Or like do nail art, you know, hobbyist type stuff. Which is kind of in my wheelhouse. This is hobby stuff. I've been really happy with it. I had to figure out how to keep it from getting clogged. For the most part, it really is a good usage of paint. I think it was a Christmas gift. But I believe it was one that I had on my Amazon wish list. I may have just gotten it though. I remember there for a while, my wife was getting kind of upset at me because she kept trying to figure out, my birthday is like close to Christmas, and she kept trying to think of like presents to get for me for Christmas and stuff, and I would talk about things that I was wanting, like, hey, you know what would be really nice? I'd really like one of these. I should get one of those. You know, she would put it on her mental list. And then I would just go buy it, and she'd be like, Sean, stop buying stuff. I was going to get that for you for Christmas or for your birthday. So it may have been one of the ones that she actually got me. It may have been just something that I got myself, and I just had around that time. Because I got a bunch of stuff for myself that one Christmas. So I don't remember which was which. I'd like to learn how to do detail work with it. Actually throwing colors onto models. But right now I really like it for priming and for zenithal highlighting. It's really simple. You get a lot of bang for your buck, like effort-wise. It really makes my primer last longer. And if you're planning on painting after you're done priming, it dries really fast. When the paint is atomized and thrown onto the model, it sticks really fast, like sticks really hard, and it dries really fast. The battery lasts decently well. I'm not going to be like hanging out on the street painting t-shirts or something like that for hours on end. But it lets me do a lot. Alright, let's get the actual base. See, like, I can handle the model right now. I was just spraying on here a second or two ago. I have a hard time remembering that this thing is gravity fed. So it's like I can't point it down, or else the paint drips to the tip of the cup and then nothing goes into the paint head. I'm going over these spikes again because where I was touching it with my hands, I kind of rubbed a little bit with my grip, and it kind of got some of it off. Okay. Well, I think Ankylosaurus is on the menu. It's another A. It's a big one, but it shouldn't be very difficult as far as big models go. I forgot to put that tip on there. Oh no! Man, I'm a doof. I finished all of these guys, and I left these ones over here. Maybe I've got enough to finish these up real quick. They are really clean. It's really nice. Like I said, they're pretty inexpensive if you're willing to get like an entry-level one. I was kind of Like, one of the reasons why I got a cheap one, normally when it comes to tools, I buy nicer stuff so that it lasts longer. But when I was younger and a young single guy, and I finally got out on my own, folks were telling me, you got a lot of stuff you need to buy. You need to get a set of tools. You need to get, this and that. And I was like building my, my own possessions, living out on my own. And an older friend of mine, his name was Joe Walker. He told me, buy a bunch of crappy tools. He's like, go to Harbor Freight or something like that, and when you're looking for tools, just buy the cheapest ones, just one of everything that you think you'll need. And then when one of them breaks, then buy a good one. And that way, the ones that you use a lot, that you use it so much that it broke, you have a good one that's going to last you a long time. But then the ones that you don't use very often, you're not dumping money into something that you don't need. A cheap one is going to do you. So I've kind of done that. I like to buy nice stuff if I feel like I've already proven that fact that it's going to be useful and I'm going to use it a lot. Sometimes I'll just now go ahead and get a nice one. But with the airbrushing, I wasn't confident in my skill and being able to, I didn't want to sink a whole bunch of money into something that I might just not be great at and might not really enjoy. So I got a cheap one. Whether it was me buying it from Amazon or getting it as a Christmas gift, the one that was in my Amazon wish list for a while was a cheap one. Because that way, if it doesn't work out and I don't like it, I'm not out a lot of money. I've heard that Awadas are very good. At least that's what Adam Savage says. He says they don't clog and they're very reliable. So I'd like to get an Awada. I really like this handheld compressor. It's really quiet. And I like not having the friction of a hose dragging around me. Oops. The cleanup is the worst part of owning an airbrush. It's nice if you're doing a bunch of batches of stuff, but swapping colors and having to really get in there and clean everything out is a bit of a pain. Normally what I do is I've been doing the priming actually with a brush, and then I'll do my zenithal highlight with the white in the airbrush, because that way I don't have to be super thorough in cleaning, because it's just always going to be white. But it's if I get a little bit of white and then I run some black through it, it can cause some issues. Or if I have black and then I paint with white afterwards, and that one little black pigment piece is just gonna get in there and wreck the heck out of my white and make like a big black blob or like a gray streak or something like that. Black pigment. Oh goodness, that one was loud. And don't forget to clean out the tip. This one's kind of nice. You can just unscrew this tip here. And there's the needle. One of these days I should like do a nice deep clean and take this thing apart and show you guys how to clean an airbrush. I took the whole thing apart once to kind of adjust the needle inside. Ended up making it worse, and then had to Google a bunch of videos to finally get it to be decent again. Kind of like, I'm kind of one of those folks where if I have a pen anywhere in my vicinity, I will take it apart and put it back together again. It's like every pen has to go through the rite of passage of being taken apart and put back together. Putting? Wow, that's a word. Putting back together. So you're doing this once to get a mini up and going, painted. Not so bad. Not bad at all. Doing this twice, that's a bit much. It's like if I had to do this and then put the white in and then zenithal highlight them and then clean it out again and then do another color like that, that's a bit cumbersome. Alright. So we're going to do the Ankylosaurus next time. We're also going to do the badger and get these cats and dogs painted up. But we have a nice cool Azer. How are we looking at on our progress? I'm going to set him on the shelf. All done. We are at 263. Nice. 91 done. 91 categories. Yeah, I found a reference image for the badger. I was like, what do badgers look like? I couldn't for the life of me when I saw one. I was like, oh, that's what it is. It's this little guy right here. Badger, badger, badger. Okay. So now we got winged badger. Nice. That's true. You know, man. Oh, Luke Realm. Now you got me thinking, man. I could kit bash some wings onto a badger and have a winged badger. Oh man, I want to do that now. You did this to me. badger has been primed. Cat have been primed. It's 4. Man, I really want to now. That would be amazing. You know what? I wonder if there might even just be one on Thingiverse. Let's take a look. Yeah, that's a cool badger. Got a badger warrior. That's actually pretty rad. Could put some wings, angelic wings on the back of him. There's a little badger there. Oh, these little guys are cool. No winged badger has to, but that means that doesn't mean I can't kit bash something. My job here is done. Man, I kind of like these little guys. No, I don't like them anymore. I don't like those things were made in like Tinkercad or something. That'll look fine if it's printed on an FDM printer, but a resin printer, it'll look terrible. I mean, let's look at wings. Let's do angel wings. I like these ones from the Coatl. What if we take this one? Man, I need to go to bed, but I just really want to do this. This is Coatl, no stand. This is MZ4250. He makes such good models. Coatl, no stand. Right here. Alright, so if we drop that and that, then we can go, let's see, go to Mesh Mixer. Hopefully this Coatl will not be, oh, not both of you, just one. Hopefully it's not a single mesh. Alright, so what we can do, typically what you can do is that, see how there's like a bit of a seam right there? A lot of times the wings will be its own model and they'll just kind of grab it and whoop, slide it in place. And if that's the case, what you can do is you can go to not actions, where is it? It's been a while since I've done this. Edit? I think it's edit separate shells. Yes, we do have some. Alright, yes. We've got his body. Alright, so there's the body. And we can hide that. We've got the left wing, right wing, and looks like the eyes are separate shells too. So what we can do here is we've just got we can let's delete this, delete that, and that. And then we can take our Badger Warrior, we'll append it. And now we need to, nope, that's not selection, we want to clear selection. Where is it? Is it edit? Probably transform, yeah. The terminology in 3D printing can be kind of strange. So if we grab on this plane, okay, we're getting somewhere. We can bring him down a little bit. And let's see. I think those need to be, I think it needs to be rotated a little. So something like that. And maybe like that. Planetary winged badger. Let's see. So his axe is actually kind of digging into the feathers a little bit. Let's pull him forward. Maybe I think we need to go a little bit more like this. Yeah, that looks good. The axe is still digging in a little bit. I wonder if we can accept that transform. Let's go back to edit, separate shells. Okay, so the badger is a single shell. I was going to try and grab the axe and move it around. This would be an example where somebody took their multiple shells and merged them into a single model. With that, you can do some funky stuff like create a selection and then like delete that, but it's really finicky, and I'm not very good at it. Hey, the gaming fun. We're being silly right now. We are making a mini for Winged Badger Gaming because I didn't put 2 and 2 together and think about how awesome it would be to have just a Winged Badger. Let's see. Yeah. The axe cuts into those wings a little bit though. Maybe we can bring him up. Maybe we can go back to edit. Oh wow, we went so long my music stopped. Bam. Oh no, it stopped because my Mac decided to free up some space on my desktop by deleting that file. Well, thank you, that was incredibly helpful. There we go. Alright, so let's go to transform again. Am I not seeing it? Where the heck is transform? Transform, there it is. Alright, let's go up a little bit. You know what? I kind of like it better down, and then the axe just kind of going through it a little bit. I think that's going to be acceptable. I think that'll be fine. And honestly, it'll probably help it print better. Alright, so then what we need to do is we need to export this whole thing. What shall we call? We'll put this in my manufacturing folder. Badger Photon. Characters. He's gonna be a hero. So he's gonna be next to all of the others. Badger Gaming. Complex one of words. It's complex, non-medical. Sure. I don't know what that means, but it's never stopped me before. Let's go to Precious Slicer and make sure that this thing exported correctly. Let's go to manufacturing and photon characters. Winged Badger Gaming. Okay, so that's what I was worried about. It only exported the base model, so we probably need to grab all of these and then export it. Or we could just say combine. There we go. And then export that. There he is. Now let's go ahead and grab Fang so we can make sure that he's scaled properly. Fang for scale. And iCloud has been purging all of my files. I probably have a bunch of Twitch videos that I've been meaning to upload to YouTube that I just need to download. Okay. So it looks like the base is, yeah. So it's a 1-inch scale. So I don't even need to scale. Ooh, he's a big boy. Look at that. Look how tall he is. If you want the STL, like if you want to DM me somehow, I'm happy to get you the STL if you want it, to print it up and paint it. I'm totally gonna print it and paint it though, because I think this would be fantastic. I'd love to have him as like an NPC in my game somehow. I have no idea where. Oh, dude, you know what? The campaign I'm running is gonna have some tie-ins with the Feywild, and a winged badger would totally be like a fey creature. That would totally fit in the Feywild. I will do this though. Gotta cut that base off because I want to put one of my nice bases on. And I even love like the little mole feet, or I guess badger feet. Upper part, not the lower part. We'll cut that off. There we go. And yeah. Badger full D&D character. Actually, you know what? That makes me wonder. Where's my browser? I wonder if there is. If there's a race. Oh, of course there's a race. Is this homebrew though? It is homebrew. Okay. Now that's a cool mini right there too. That's got some stinking character. What's their constitution by 1? That's not fantastic. I'd probably give them a +1 in something else. They vary in height. Barely over 4 feet and just over 5 feet tall. Size is medium, so you could be a big badger if it's this winged one. Base speed is 25, but you have a burrow speed of 15 feet. That's interesting. I'd drop that or bump that to 30 because I'm saying that they're kind of bigger, at least with the way this one's sized. Unless you squished it down. They have dark feet. That makes sense. Did I say dark feet? Dark vision. Dark feet. Well, I guess if they have black fur, they have dark feet too. Beast speech. That's a cool thing to have. Oh, interesting. So the ability score is Constitution. Oh, and then they have subclasses, like sub-races. So Northern Badgers get Strength or Constitution, so you could like double that into Con or dunk 1 point into Strength. Southern, they have Constitution and Intelligence. Or Dexterity. Interesting. Okay. I can get behind that. That's kind of fun. That does make me want to, like, if we drop Fang in here again, and we take this guy and we scale him to like 50%. That's too little. Maybe like 70. I could get behind that. He still looks really intimidating. I kind of like him as like a big, huge badger, but I think that this size makes a bit more sense. Old wise badger, kung fu master. Yeah, man. Yeah, he really does. Kung Fu Panda. Yeah, I kind of like him on the smaller side. And dude, I mean, if he's gonna be winged, I kind of gotta make him. I'm kind of thinking like a paladin or something. I don't know. I'll have to think about that. I'm gonna go ahead and do an export. I normally wait till I get the supports underneath them. Wait, no, that's not what I want to export. I want to export as an STL. And I'm going to call this one 70%. No, base. And maybe next Tuesday we'll go ahead and do a support on them and get them printing. I think that'd be fun. Oh man, that's exciting. That's fun to have something silly to look at. Oh, D&D Beyond has a lot of homebrew badger stuff. Ranger or Druid would be cool. If he was Druid, he could wild shape into a badger. That'd be funny. He's like, no wait, but like the animal kind of badger. And I totally have to give him a fly speed. He's going to be so overpowered at lower levels because of his fly speed. Wild shape into a human. That'd be great. Amazing. Oh, amazing. I would allow it. Like, that would normally fall under the disguise self spell, but I would totally allow it. That would be amazing. Because he'd burn up one of your wild shapes to do it. It'd be fine. Oh. I always stream from 9 to 11. Well, 9 to when I stop. The time block is 9 to 11 Eastern. But yeah, seriously, if you want the STL, trying to think how you could get it to me, or like I could get it to you. Does Twitch have direct messaging? Can you like direct message me? Because I could send it to your email, or I could send you a Dropbox link or something like that, and then you could just download it. Let me see, does Twitch have direct messaging? Twitch has whispers. Let's see if... I'm an old man, let me see if I can figure out how to whisper. Is it a command? Is it like /whisper? Oh. Gotcha. How did you do it, just so that I know how to do that in the future? Oh, you click on their name. Go to whisper. Got it. I gotcha. Yeah, let me see here. Let's get Dropbox. I think in Dropbox I have to do it through the website. Let's see, shared. Do you want the one that's 100% and has the base on it, or would you like the 70% one without the base that I'm planning on using? You know what, maybe I'll just send you both. With the base, okay. It's taking a second. It's got to upload the file. Now, just to full disclosure, I literally just pulled these things off of Thingiverse and kit bashed them together, so I don't own any of these models. But if they are on Thingiverse, then they're pretty much, open to the public. But yeah, I don't take credit for sculpting any of that stuff. I do have a bedtime. Okay, it's uploaded. Copy Dropbox link. There you go. That should work. You'll have to click the download button because the DL equals 0 at the end of the URL. It's set to 0. If it's set to 1, like if you change that to a 1, it'll automatically download it. Nice. Yeah, man. Not a problem. I'm super excited to paint this guy up, get him printed out. Awesome. Well, hey guys, thank you for hanging out. It's been a super duper fun. Yeah, so we'll plan to. I guess we're not gonna paint the Ankylosaurus and the other stuff. We're gonna paint a winged badger next Tuesday. So yeah, 9 o'clock Eastern is when I'll get started. I think I'm probably just going to support it and get it printed and then just paint it. Like normally I've been supporting and like doing the supports and stuff on the streams, but I think I'm just going to go ahead and get it supported and printed and cured and all of that and just ready to paint so that we can just paint it on Tuesday. Does that sound cool with you guys, or would you be interested in seeing me support it? That's gonna make it take longer. It'll be like next Saturday before I paint it if I do that. I think I'm just gonna do that. It's so funny. I'm so glad you hopped on, Winged Badger. I'm so glad you hopped on. This is gonna be great. I'd have never thought of making these. You know what? I would love to like DM you sometime and just like throw some personality stuff together so that when I run this guy as an NPC, like I can run him legit. That would be pretty great. Okay, I'm rambling. I can talk about D&D and this kind of stuff all night long. Thank you so much for hanging out. Thank you so much for being a part of the stream, and y'all be good.